Okay, so in chapter 6, right? The title is adding order to an enumerated class. So in this chapter, we are going to create an object property called is spicier than, right? So this property, right, is spicier than is going to basically connects or represent the relationship between the instances of the spiciness, right? Spiciness class, which is an enumerated class. Okay, so let's just do that now. So go to the object property, right? And then click object property, and then we are going to create is spicier than, right? And then this one is gonna be the domain, and then what? The range is going to be the spiciness, because what we are going to do is we are going to give order, right? And set the order between the two instances in the spiciness. So it's going to be what? The domain is going to be the spiciness, right? And then the range, right? Class hierarchy, right? And then click the spiciness. Okay, good. So yes. Okay, now we are going to create and then also make sure it's a transitive. Okay, meaning that if hot is spicier than a mild, and the mild is spicier than the sorry. You know what? I just skipped. Okay, so the transitive, right? Why is it transitive? Because it's hot is spicier than what? The medium, right? And then what? Medium is spicier than, this is greater than, or the spicier than the medium is spicier than the mild, right? So that means what is hot is spicier than what? Mild, right? So that's why it's a transitive. And another thing is, you know what? This is kind of unique, right, about this object property, because usually when we create object property, right, it connects two instances of a different class, let's say class in A and B, right? But for this one, right, since this is the the spiciness, right? Spiciness class, and then we have what? We have hot, and then we have medium, and then we have mild, right? So this is spicier than, right? It's this object property is really represent a relationship between the two instances of the same class. Okay, so because this is what? This is an enumerated class. And then now what we are trying to add, we are trying to create an object which can represent a relationship between the any two instances in the same class, like enumerated class. So the hot is spicier than medium, and medium is spicier than the mild, right? Okay, so that's basically the basic concept. Now let's just create another class. It's called is milder than, right? And I'm just following the PISA tutorial. So go to just click OW top object property, and then create the subclass. It's called what? Is milder than, right? Okay, it's milder than, and then oops, hold on. Let's just stop the reasoner. Is milder than, I'm sorry, I ran the previous. Okay, but anyway, just create is milder than, right? And then just make it as inverse of what? Inverse of is spicier than, right? Okay, so that's the inverse. And then you run the reasoner. Oops. Yeah, you run the reasoner, right? But nothing happens. Okay, first you have to click inferred. And then if everything is right, then you expect to see that since it's inverse of is spicier than, right? You expect to see that, it is inferred by the reasoner that the domain and the range, they are also what? Spiciness. Because it's milder than is inverse of is spicier than, right? But you don't see that. I think the reason is, you did not really properly configure the reasoner. Okay, so just go to the file and then go to the preferences, right? And then what? Click reasoner. Okay, so there's a lot of options you can choose, right? But just click reasoner and then click domain and then range. Okay, maybe domains, individual data property sessions. Yeah, I'll just check. These joint classes. I think this is important. Okay, so make sure that you check everything. Okay. Super property, inverse property. Yeah, I think just and then click OK. Now let's just run the reasoner. Start reasoner and then run the reasoner, right? Now just make sure that you are in the inferred mode, right? And then let's see, it's spicier than, right? And then it's milder than. Now, but now it's what? It's a domain and the range are spiciness, right? These are the inferred by the reasoner, but I don't think they're gonna say they didn't really check the transitive. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so anyway, that's interesting. I thought that it's reasonable also check this box, but no, they didn't. Okay, that's interesting to know. Okay, so anyway, so that's half of the chapter 6. In my next lecture, right, I'm going to talk about this section. So that's going to be chapter 6, part 2. Then pretty much I'm done with the basics of designing the class and properties with the protege. Okay, so, okay, thank you.